Hello from Arizona. My name is Calvin and I welcome you to Tough Trails. Okay, so in this episode, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with the 92 Scout project build that we're doing right now in this episode, and we're going to get you up to date on what we've done so far. Okay, so let's get her going. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to show you what we did to detail the inside of this engine bay. You guys can do this too. All right, cool. That's good enough. All right, so I got this engine out. What I want to do is I want to clean this up in here a little bit and see what I can do to improve the looks underneath here. And you can see there's just years of, this is a 92, so that's, I don't know, 32 years, 32 years old or so, 33. And this is all gunk and stuff and build up, over the last 30 some odd years. So I want to get some of that off. This upper stuff here, I can clean that up with SOS pad kind of a thing, a little bit at a time, space at a time, and I'll be able to detail it a little bit at a time. Okay, and we'll probably do something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust out my engine degreaser, and I'm going to spray my engine degreaser down there and let it soak for a little while, and then I'll take the pressure washer and clean it up. And for engine degreaser, that's what I use right there. You figure $3.99 a can for that bad boy versus, $14, $15 for something else. This would be just fine. All right, let's get her going. All right, so oven cleaner works pretty good. All right. All right, guys, I'm gonna need two hands for this. I just wanted to let you see a little bit of this. All right, cool. All right, so they got the bigger stuff off. It gives me something to work with, and it'll be easier to take care of this. So, okay. Anyway, kind of, ooh, need a little bit more in here. All right. Anyway, we'll get this cleaned up and detailed out. Okay? All right, cool. All right, there we go. So that's pretty good. That'd be a good start right there. Anything else we can, detail little areas at a time. We also fired it up under here. Clean that up a little bit too, because I'm going to paint there too. Okay? But a lot cleaner. And that's going to give me a good foundation to start with. Okay? All right, guys. We're caught up. All right, cool. Okay, so if you ever decide to do this, which is unlikely, um, these connections right here that connect your wiring harness or your loom to the body are just plastic, and you can buy new ones to replace them with. They're all brittle and stuff. They're going to probably break pretty quickly anyway. So you're going to have to pull those out to get a good detail. Or what it's going to look like is that you just painted over everything, and that's not really what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make we're trying to create a vehicle that someone's going to be proud of. Okay, they're not embarrassed to open the hood. All right. So anyway, I just want to show you. So you're going to have these plastic clips, and the best way is just pop them out, get them out of the way. Okay, and then cut them off. All right. Get your wiring out of the way. That way you can sand and prep this up, clean it up, get you some primer, get some paint. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so, and what goes here is your overflow bottle and this bracket. And this bracket, you can see a while back we had to weld this thing to get it to hold on. So some more of my amazing welds. But we'll paint this bracket, we'll clean this bottle back up. But we moved that so we can get back up in here as we're starting to detail. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start taping. Okay? All right, cool. I've taped things up in the area that I'm about to work on. And we just do it like that, just piece it at a time. We don't have to take this apart. I'm not taking all this master cylinder off or the power booster or the line. I'm not doing it. It doesn't need to be done like that. I can go around that. I'd rather tape it than take it off. Okay? So anyway, just to get you caught up. So it's all taped up, and we're putting some primer on there right now. It says I need 2 hands for it because it's kind of a pain in the ass. All right? Cool. All right, so now you can see there's starting to be a little color in here. Okay? See that? And that's all we're doing. Okay, so we're only going to here, and the rest will be black. Okay, I think that's a better fitting than the way it looked. Okay, so now we still got to do this and all this side. So this takes a while, so make sure you bring a lunch. Okay, but anyway, that's what it's starting to look like. Okay, cool. Okay, now this is your window washer right here, windshield washer right here, and there's a screw that goes here and a screw that goes back here. Yeah, so you can see the tabs here and here. Okay, and then there's a water line that comes off. See it right here? Okay, and it travels up. Travels up right up there. Okay, and on top here, there's an electrical connection right here. Just push this in and pull it off. It's going to be stubborn. It's not going to just fall off. You're going to have to work at it a little bit. Okay, and now I can take this out of here and I can start working on this side and pull all this electric stuff off. Okay, it's a task, so turn on the stereo and get you some ice water or cold beer or a cup of coffee, whatever, and just cruise through this. Take your time with it. Okay? All right, cool. Okay, so then when you take these screws off here, that mounted here and here, you just take all these wires that were up here, and they're just going to lay up out of the way. Okay? And they'll lay over out of the way. And that way you'll be able to get up in here and get all this detailed. You can have some trouble in here. But I've got more connectors coming, so I'm going to pull all these off on mine and clear this area up really good because I ordered some connectors that go in there and they manage your wiring harness for you. I'll actually put a link in the description somewhere for you. Okay? All right, guys. So anyway, so we're going to do that, and I'll figure out how to get this off if it comes off. Then we'll get this all cleaned up, and we'll get it all detailed out. Okay? All right, cool. Okay, so once you get it all cleaned up and hit it with, your squirt bottle and a little bit of soap on it and, 400 grit sandpaper, just something. You want to scuff it up and dull it up like we did here, see? Okay, and then you go ahead and you hit it with some primer. Okay, but you can see it's already looking better just getting it cleaned up. Okay? All right, cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit it with some primer. All right, cool. All right, so let's see what we can do. Some of this stuff I can do and you can see it, but I'm going to need to use my other hand to block some of this stuff. I don't want to overspray in some parts of this. So, but at least you can see what we're doing here. And see, we don't want to clean up a lot of this wiring or this black conduit or anything like that. So we're trying not to get any overspray on it. So what I do is I normally block it. As you can see, I got a little breeze going right now, so I'm fighting that too. Okay. All right, guys. That's about all I can do for you. I have to get another hand in here. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So we just applied some primer here, cleaned it up real good, applied some primer to it, letting it set for a minute, and we're going to let it dry. And then we're going to follow it up right here with little color, as you can see there. And we're using this out of a spray can. This is actually the exact color that we're going to use to paint the vehicle with, is this right here. This is a sail blue. It's a Rust-Oleum product. And one of the things I like about the Rust-Oleum products is they're oil-based, and they can handle painting in the heat. You got to remember, this is Arizona, and this is out in the middle of the damn day, and it's probably 115 degrees out there. And you know, you'll see how this paint still holds its gloss. It dries pretty fast. I can put it on pretty thick this way. So that's why we take these cans, and we use the cans a lot of times to do a lot of the jamming or a lot of the little touch-up work instead of mixing paint and using it in a big paint gun for such a small area, stuff like that. So that's how we do it. All right, cool. All right, so there you go. You can kind of see that. So we did that side. We took all that stuff apart, cleaned this all up real good, cleaned it up, sanded it, and hit with some primer, and just threw some color on it. And we did this one earlier, right here. And then the center section is what I'm going to do last. Okay? All right. I want to just keep you updated. All right? Cool. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to do this center section. Okay, so we've done the left and we've done the right, and now we're going to do this center section here. And what I'm doing, and I've already started to do this, and I thought I should grab a camera, but this is for your power brake booster. It's a vacuum. It goes down and picks up the vacuum out of your manifold. And these are your brake lines. They come across over here and go down here. So what I'm going to do is I've already taken these off. I'm going to pull this out of the way so I can clean this firewall up. And then I'm going to pull these off and pull those back so I can clean that up and prep it. And then I'll tape up these AC vents, and I'll do your heater core lines as well. We'll tape those up real good. And then we're going to probably take, you can see down here, we're going to probably take these clips out and pull that back. You see, this is a rubber hose, and this will allow me to pull this back without bending any brake lines. Okay, and then we can clean up in there, and that should wrap up under the hood. Okay, well, exception of under the hood. And you know, we might be able to squeeze that in today as well. We'll see how the day goes. All right, guys, just want to get you updated. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to pull these parts off. We're going to prep this back, hit it with some primer, and paint it. Okay, cool. Okay, so you're going to also have to remove this cowling. Well, you don't have to. You do what the hell you want to do. But we're removing the cowling right here so that we can paint up in the top up here. Up here, you got to excuse the sweatshirt. Just the sun's at an angle and it's hitting that windshield. It just really messes my eyes up. But anyway, so remove this cowling, move the windshield wiper arms, and remove that cowling because we're going to have the paint up there as well. Okay? So that's all pretty much cleaned out. You can see I got some dust there that I knocked off, but it was pretty bad up under there, pretty cluttered, a lot of crap in there. And the reason it's important to do that, and especially up in here between this gap between your windshield, is you're going to be coming across painting this thing, and you're going to have a gorgeous paint job going, and you're going to come across there, and that stream from your paint gun is going to blast air in there, and it's going to dust you. It's going to dust your hood, and it's going to be bad. It's just not going to be good. So you need to get this off, clean this out of here too. All the little leaves and sticks and twigs and critters and roaches or whatever, get it all out of there. Okay. All right. So this one's almost ready to get primered and paint down here, but I wanted to address that next. Okay. All right. So let me keep going here. I get it, wash this down a little bit more, and then I'm going to sand it with some 400, and then we're going to hit it with some primer. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so kind of got up in there and cleaned up a little bit. Like I said, the sun is shining off the windshield and it's hitting the perfect angle. But we got all that kind of cleaned up there. Okay, and we'll paint that once we remove the hood. But right here, we got this all scuffed up, ready to go. Taped up what I wanted to tape up. Move my lines out. Remove the brake master or the power brake booster, the vacuum line. Moved it out. Lowered these down, so I should be able to get back in there, and then I'll lift them back up. Okay, so we're about ready to shoot it with a little primer and throw a little color on it. Okay, there you go. All right, and there you go. So we got that area primered up, and now we're shoot some color. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so there you go. Now I'll start putting everything back together, detailing and cleaning up the overspray that I did, and go build an engine, drop an engine in it. But I think first what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paint this thing and get it all done. And that puts me back on schedule. The engine was not scheduled; it wasn't part of the deal. But you know, it's just going to be, you know, whoever ends up buying the thing, it's just going to be better for them. They got a nice, clean, fresh engine in there. So, and a paint job. Okay. All right. Cool. Anyway, there you guys go. I'll put it back together. Once we get it all back together in the bottles, and you know, the overflow bottle over here, and over here we'll put the windshield wiper bottle, and we'll put our fuses and stuff back up, our wiring and stuff, and I'll come in and do another little short little clip of video for you. Okay. All right, guys. Cool. All right, and just a tip. What I do is I find a box and put a bunch of holes in them, so I can clean up these original nuts and bolts, the hardware to mount some of the stuff back underneath the hood and the engine bay. And in this case, what these are going to do, these are going to be cleaned up, and then they're going to be painted a flat antique nickel, and that's going to highlight the blue and the black and underneath the hood. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Here's just a little update for you. So we're pretty much finished the interior painting and stuff. Now we're detailing some of the little parts, nuts and bolts, those kinds of things. And we're going to slowly start putting this back together. And we just want to stop and give you a little update on what we've got so far. And you can see it there. Give you a little scan here. So anyway, it came out really good, and I'm really happy with it. It's an awesome color. So anyway, there you go. And you can consider yourself to have been updated. All right. Okay, so we let it dry for a day or so, and now we're going to start putting it back together. And I don't mean we're going to throw an engine in there yet, but we're going to rebuild all this, put all the wiring back, all the electrical back, the water bottles, the overflow bottles, those kinds of things. Okay, we're going to put the brake booster back. We're going to detail these up a little bit, these brake lines, to bring them up, bring them out of that right there. See right here in that position, we just dropped them down. So we're going to clean all that stuff up. We'll put the rubber seals back in right there, and we'll start turning this back into an engine bay. All right? All right, cool. Okay, so the weather's kind of weird today. So I'm going to take a look out there. So I don't know how far we'll get today, but if the weather holds, we're going to pull this hood off, and we're going to paint this cowling part of the body right here. Okay? So we'll sand that up a little bit, clean it up. We're going to take the hood off. I want these hinges black. I like the contrast. The theme of this is the Suzuki Sidekick, like a Geo Tracker, and they've been beaten so much that they're black and blue. And that's why we picked the colors, by the way, black and blue. Geo Tracker and Suzuki Sidekicks are just taking the beating for forever. So to commemorate that, we're going to paint this one black and blue. All right, there we are. Might get to the hood. Might get underneath that hood right there, so I can try out one of my old guns. I've got a gun that I used, probably 40 years ago, and it was my touch-up gun and my jamming gun. See it right there. I don't know if it even works anymore. We'll find out. We're gonna fire that bad boy up. Okay? All right, cool. Here, and just give you a shot. We mentioned earlier that we were cleaning up the nuts and bolts and stuff, and we were gonna go with the antique nickel, flat antique nickel. And I didn't show you the after, so that's what the flat antique nickel looks like. And that's our hardware that we're going to put everything back together with. I think it's an interesting highlight. Okay, cool. All right, so we're starting to put some of the wires back together, and all these tabs had broken before. So I went out and I got a whole big bag full, and it has all these different connections, just like these. Okay, so you can see the end right there. Let me do this. So when you see the end right there, there we go. See that? And that just goes in these holes where they were at before. And then you like a zip tie, you just zip around and you got your wiring harness up in position where it needs to go. Okay, so I will, and you get a whole bag full. I mean, this thing was like, I don't know, 15, 16 bucks or something like that. But there's all kinds of these different types of connections for your wiring harnesses or whatever you got to deal with. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to point that out to you. All right, so we're going to continue on with this loom. All right, cool. All right, guys, so this is probably a good point to end this video. You can see we're putting everything back and got all of our ties in, holding up our wiring and stuff. And everything got detailed pretty good. So you can see that contrast back there. So and over there. So I ordered caps for this and caps for this one right here as well. And to clean these wires up a little bit more. And my AC lines, I got to run my AC lines back again. I am going to put AC in this one. So it's Arizona. So if somebody bought this, they should have AC in it. So, okay. But anyway, I just want to let you take a look at it and see what we've done with this project. And this is a good place to close it. After this one, we're going to start jamming the doors, the tailgate, those kinds of things, doing the interior, and then we're going to paint the car. I think actually what happened next is underneath this hood, because I need to try out that 40-year-old touch-up gun or jam gun that I use, make sure it works, and we'll do that, and paint up here where the cowl goes. We'll probably actually do that next. Then jamming and painting. Okay. All right, guys. There it is. Thank you. All right, guys. I hope you got some entertainment value or learned something from this episode and all the episodes that we do. And I just really want to thank you for watching our episodes. We really appreciate you. We really do. Again, thank you so much.